Fucking Chris Pratt is Mario. Doesn't that just fucking grind your gears?
It's like it doesn't upset me, but it's not. I still feel like that sequence of just that entire like 2 minutes or whatever it was is maybe the funniest thing that's ever happened in any direct ever.
Yeah.
It just got funnier as it went on. It's like they were doing it on purpose. I don't know.
Like people on
It was
Twitter.
really
When Seth Rogen appeared.
Yeah.
No!
No, I said to Alex, like I've watched a bunch of other people react to it, and they react the exact same way, which is they laugh a bit at Chris Pratt, and then the moment Jack Black comes on, or no, Charlie Day, sorry, they just break down,
Yeah.
and then it's just worse every time someone else appears.
I've seen on Twitter there's been an uptick of mental health issues since that fucking direct. Anyway, hello and welcome to Play Talk Repeat episode 4. As always, I'm Oliver and I'm joined by Alex and the faceless enigma that is Lewis.
Hello.
As you'll notice, Niall isn't with us this week because he's currently moving house, but we're going to throw in a short video of him later on.
If he records it.
If he records it. He says he's got a message for us, but
You might just forget.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll keep badgering him for it. We've reached the end of the month, which means it's video game book club time. Our game this month is Hades, so we're going to get right back into it, but I'm going to do a bit of background on the game first. So it was released September 17th, 2020. It was originally for PC and Switch. It is a dungeon crawling action roguelike developed and published by Supergiant Games. Supergiant's previous games were like Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre. I think I remember Bastion in particular getting good reviews. So like Supergiant
Bastion
got quite a bit of a pedigree behind them. Hades was nominated for the Game of the Year at the official Game of the Year awards, but it unfortunately missed out to Last of Us Part 2, but I'm sure it got its own Game of the Years from various publications, things like that. It was very critically acclaimed is basically what I'm saying, and it's sat right now, at the time of me making notes, at 93 on Metacritic. It was released on current gen consoles as well as PS4 and Xbox One on August 13th this year. I've been playing it on a Series X through Game Pass. What's everyone else been playing it on?
I've been playing it on PC. Epic Store, specifically, but yeah.
I played it on Xbox One X on the Game Pass.
Yeah, let's assume it all run perfectly fine on those, yeah?
Yeah,
Zero
it was fine.
issues.
Yeah. So, Lewis, you played this. Did you get this when it released? Originally?
So the original release, like the beta release or whatever it was in I want to say early 2019 maybe, and I wasn't really aware of the game then. I got it, I believe, in February or March of 2020, and I got it on a whim because it was because Epic do some deals a couple times a year where you actually get like £10 off anything that's like £15 or more, and I actually ended up picking the game up for like £6, I think.
It's a steal.
Literally, well, yeah, I didn't realize at the time it was a steal, but I ended up picking it up on a whim, and I played it, and it caught my attention in my first run through of it. I was like, there's definitely something about this, but then I sort of just didn't play it for like a couple months, and then when I decided to go back to it is when I realized how great of a game it was.
Yeah. So let's do opening statements. We want to know, your general thoughts about the game, what you gave it on How Long to Beat if you put it on there, like you score out of 10. Alex, do you want to go first?
I didn't put it on How Long to Beat because I only did the one run, so I didn't get any credits for it. But
I disagree.
But if I was to put it on How Long to Beat, it would probably be like either a 7 or an 8.
Yeah. Lewis?
Well, it's different for me because I have actually beaten the game.
Yeah.
I isn't How Long to Beat actually, but I would definitely give it an 8 or a 9, depending honestly on how I'm feeling on the day I put it on. I don't really have too many complaints about the game. I don't want to say it's perfect, but it's very difficult to rate it anything lower than an 8 for me personally.
I gave it a 9. Like my general thoughts on it are, it's exactly what a roguelike should be. It's I can only compare it. I haven't played that many, to be honest with you. I did, but this has made me want to play more. I haven't played that many, but the ones that stick out in mind are like Binding of Isaac, which is great, but obviously it's a bit dated now because it's one of the first roguelikes, and Returnal, and this is the absolute polar opposite to Returnal in the way its roguelike features work. Like Hades, you are rewarded for doing runs. You're given constant upgrades and things like that to keep you wanting to go back and do more. It feels less like absolutely just banging you right into a brick wall. I gave it 9 out of 10. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I can
loved
stand
it.
by that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I said, 8 or 9 for me, just depending on the day, but it is fantastic experience.
Yeah, it's unfortunately I haven't had as much time to play it as we usually would with like video game book club games. It's been quite a busy month. Both me and Alex have been on holidays, separate holidays, but we've been on holidays around the same time. So the same part of the world as well, both to the Canary Islands. It was very strange.
It's weird.
Are you sure you didn't go together?
Well, see, he went to Fuerteventura, and I very nearly changed my holiday to Fuerteventura. So it's very likely we could have bumped into each other at some point. But no, I stuck with my.
It would have been mad.
It would have been a bit strange, and then obviously now it's been moving house as well. So like, it's been a very busy month. But I also got one run of the way through it. Sorry, I dropped something there. I managed one successful run. I played a bit today, and I got to Hades again, where it just absolutely trounced me. Because of the funnily enough, the weapon that I was using, I wasn't very good with it. But, so that's basically my first question. What weapon would you say is your favourite? What would you tend to go with on a run if you wanted to win? Not if you're looking for resource. If you wanted to beat Hades.
I'll go first, I guess, really quick because I have very strong opinions on a certain weapon. The best weapon to me, if you want a guaranteed, well, not guaranteed, but if you want the best odds, the weapon you're going to want to use is the spear, which is like the second weapon you unlock or the third one. I think it's straight after the sword. I think it's straight after the sword. Yeah.
It's either that or the bow.
No, it's the bow. The second. Bow second.
Yeah, bow second.
Oh wait, the spear might be fourth then after the shield. Yeah, I think it's shield after bow. Yeah.
Bow,
no, it's spear and then shield.
Oh really? Well, regardless, if you want a guaranteed win or at least like the best odds, the spear is definitely the way to go. The maneuverability with the spear and how quick the attacks are, and I noticed in this game a really good way to help you progress is to like build up your attack speed. If you can end up getting buffs that increase your attack speed or just let you hit faster, it really helps you out in a lot of situations, especially when you get to the later floors when there's a lot more projectiles and stuff coming at you. Being able to just mash the button or hold the button definitely helps out, and there aren't really too many negatives to the spear, honestly. The special ability, the hold down ability, is a bit trash. It's not great. It's the one where it spins around if you hold it in. But the main ability, it's just really fast, really quick, and does high damage. And gives you range as well, which a lot of other weapons don't really do. So that's another big factor as to why I think it's probably the best weapon in the game, and it's my go-to anyway if I want to try and win.
Yeah, well, I say I feel quite similar because my favorite's the shield, but I like the whole point of the spear. I guess is it's short range and long range. Which is what I was looking for. I prefer short range, but having that long range option really helped with the shield, because obviously you have to be able to real close to him to get him to like to hit him with his short range, but with the long range he just bounces around. It's great. I loved it, and I think once I played with the shield, I found it really hard to go to other weapons, and like unless you're going in looking for resources, picking up keys, stuff like that. If I'm going for Hades, going for the final boss, then I will always pick up the shield. What about you, Alex?
Yeah.
I used the shield at the start. That was like my main thing, and then I unlocked the gauntlets or the fists. The day with my go-to weapon. I like going up close, doing the uppercut, like punching, like cause it's got like a 3-hit combo type thing when you press like the X button, and then you do like an uppercut when you press Y. That was like my favorite thing to do with it. That's just my play style.
I think fists might have been my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I just couldn't get to grips with them at all. Like because there just wasn't any kind of like there wasn't an area of, even with a sword, that the Y, the special, it's an area of effect. You know what I mean? It attacks everything with an area. With the fist, it just felt very like focused on one thing. Like,
there was an upgrade for the fists where if you did the Y, then you could do like a slam on the ground, so it would like affect like a wide area.
See.
So I always tried to get that.
I think the fists are some of the hardest. I don't know if they're the worst. I think they're definitely some of the hardest, though, because it relies on you comboing stuff together well, and if you don't make use of that, they just become a lot less worse in general than other weapons, because you do need to focus on the combo aspect of it.
Yeah.
If you can use it and make use of it, I think they're very, very fun. And you can do a ton of damage with it, but it really depends how you plan on playing it, and if you want to commit to actually learning the specific combos for it.
Yeah, that's one thing the game does really well though. Like all the different weapons, it suits any kind of playstyle really.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I mean,
There's-
I actually never got around to using it, but you unlock a gun, right? It's like the last one you
Yes.
unlock. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Oh, that is that what the last weapon is? I never
yeah,
unlocked it.
yeah, it's good.
it's like a big machine gun from what I can tell.
All right, okay.
Yeah, my least favorite weapon was, the other only long range one, which was the bow and arrow. I hate.
I didn't like the bow and arrow.
Yeah, I
It's
hate
so
the bow as
slow.
well.
It's so slow, and it's just...
I never played enough with it to maybe upgrade it for it to get better abilities. I really don't know, but yeah, as you were just saying then, Oliver, it's just very slow, very slow and difficult to do anything.
Yeah, and it's like even like the special on that where it fires multiple arrows out, it's doing so little damage. It's, I was never. I think I've used it maybe twice, and I'd never pick it up again. I am going to continue playing Hades, but I'm never going to play the bow again. Never.
Yeah. I believe between the gun and the bow, I think the bow is like the more used one. I think it's more powerful, but I don't know. I just can't get behind it. Like I said, maybe it gets better when you upgrade it, but as it stands, just like getting through from the first floor with the bow, it would be a struggle for me.
Yeah,
it's just too much charge up, too slow, too much build up. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I might do it just to get the initial rewards. So for each weapon that you use, you get the rewards from each boss is better. Like each boss has a main reward, and once you get it once, it then goes down to a lesser reward. But it starts again with each weapon, so you can get each reward like 6 times. I'm sure there's other ways to get them as well. I think you can buy them as well. Gods. If you're going for a room and you've got 2 choices at the end as to which room you go into next, what god would you have to see to go into that room? Like, which one would you like? Is there a god that you'd see that you think, right, I'm going into that room to get that reward?
I mean, I'm terrified of this because I'm gonna butcher all the names of everyone.
I'm trying to think of the name of the one that I like.
I know that. I think you like a similar one to me, Alex. So I like. I don't even want to say this. Demeter, the snow woman.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's fantastic. She
was really good.
Yeah, by far to me one of the best upgrades you can get in the game. The freeze ability is just so helpful. It sorts out and helps with so many situations. Another pick for me was Ares, but I don't know if that's just because I just kind of liked Ares, to be honest with you. I just thought it was quite cool. I like how it's just basically all aggressive and all about just attacking. And I don't know, something about that just vibes.
It's just damage upgrades, but it just makes you stronger. So why wouldn't you want to pick Ares?
Yeah, and my other favorite would be Hermes. And pretty much if I ever saw Hermes for any reason, take it, because upping your mobility in that game is like key to me anyway to winning. So going to Hermes, and whether it's getting an attack buff, attack speed upgrade, or just a general movement speed upgrade, is like 100% worth it every time.
Yeah, Hermes was my least favorite. Like I'd never go for Hermes because I play it like a tank. Like movement isn't all that important to me. I just want to do as much damage as possible in as little time as possible. So mine was Dionysus, I believe you pronounce it. So I could go for any of his abilities that causes hangover.
Hangover, yes, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw in your successful run you had hangover on your dash, I believe, Alex, right? Something like that.
Yeah, the run that I won was not like the gods that I liked, which was annoying. Like, I did like Dionysus, like some of the hangover abilities, but the one that I liked, I think is it Artemis, the green arrow one?
Yes, the archer.
I really liked that ability, especially the ultimate ability, where it literally just fired loads of arrows at the end. Like that would kill the snake boss instantly. You know, like the last third of the health bar, instantly just kill the snake, and it'd just be a thing.
Yeah, out of all the supers I used from all the gods, I always found Artemis's ability to be the strongest one. It just felt like it just melted the boss's health bar instantly, and no one else really did that, it seemed.
Ares is shit. Ares' hero ability.
Yeah, where you pretty much turned into a Beyblade.
Oh yeah, the Beyblade, and you spin around.
Right, it does no damage at all. It's just rubbish.
I think it's just more for mob clear, I guess, like for the smaller enemies. That's why I imagine you'd probably use it the most. Because on those third floors, it can get quite hectic with just everything being shot at you.
Yeah, but even then, if
Yeah.
you got like a yellow, if you've got a yellow enemy, like there's an elite with an extra health bar, and you use it on just that, it still won't die. Or at least in my experience, you need a load of red enemies to get it, like little, basically skulls. If you got a room full of skulls, you're laughing. But on bosses as well, it was like I did this in my last run just before the podcast, and I really hate myself for it because I was using it against Hades and it wasn't doing any damage at all. That's rubbish.
Have you got another one, Oliver? Or is there,
like I say, Dionysus for Hangover because I like my area of effect things, and I like the fact that you can just dash about or use your special multiple times. It stacks up to 3 times, and it does keep damaging them because there's certain enemies that I just don't like being there, like the rats or anything like that. So
those rats were so annoying.
Probably my least favorite enemy in the game.
So I'll dash through them, but then on my last run just before the podcast, it was a really good build because they had Dionysus's Hangover on my special. And then I had Ares it creates like a spinning blade where you dash. It's basically like the Beyblade, but instead of it like being you, you leave it where you dash. So if you dash loads of times and then use your special Hangover Beyblade, you don't even have to hit them.
Especially when you got the dash upgrade as well, where you can dash multiple times, you're leaving so many more behind as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's great for mob clearance as well. It was a good build. If it wasn't for Ares' special, I think I would have beat Hades again. Well, I didn't even get past his health bar, and he had 2 Death Defiances. It was terrible.
I thought you were talking about the ability with I can't remember what they're called, the red gems that you throw. Basically, you're just throwing ability where you have 3 of them or 2 of them, and there's one like that as well for Ares, where it turns into a spinny, just basically death cyclone when you throw them. I always found those quite useful.
I think
what was everyone's favorite like cast that you could get?
Go on, Oliver.
I think it might have been Ares's because I think that, like I said, I used that on my successful run. It was like spinning. I also liked I can't remember his name. The water god. It's not
Poseidon.
Poseidon. Thank you. I was thinking Neptune. But Poseidon. I liked his as well because it just like fires water forward and it knocks everyone back, which is really
I had that in my successful run.
Yeah,
it was so helpful.
Just knocks everything back. Gives you a bit of
for me, I don't know. I found a lot of them to be good. Like the electric shot one is really good. Because obviously just electric damage that like connects to like whatever enemies around it are like super helpful. I don't know whose it was. Was it Dionysus?
Where you throw the bomb.
Where you throw the bomb, and it does
that
like a big AoE.
Favorite.
That was a really good one. That again would help like good mob clear, and even if you wanted to, with bosses you could just sort of sit back and just launch them.
Yeah, I especially did that on the 3rd boss if I was like running low on health, I'd just lob it towards the bosses and I'd just be like, right, take care of it.
You definitely could do a lot with that. I'm trying to think of the other ones. I'm probably the Blade Rift one, which I think was Ares, I think. Where it's just a spinning, it's just a big spinning circle, and you just throw 3 of those out, and then just go do whatever else you're doing.
Yeah, and then I liked Artemis's one as well when it was combined with something else, because if there was a upgrade that you could get where if you either hit an enemy or hit it with your cast, then more arrows would come out. So if you just fire your cast at it, you'll just get attacked by arrows. Yeah.
I don't think
so. Then it combined with the fists as well. So I fired the cast towards it. Went towards the enemy, started attacking it, it would just get pummeled by arrows.
Interesting. I don't know if I ever actually used that. It's like ever.
Yeah, it's fun.
I liked the Beyblade, but the thing is, you get an ability from the mirror, where if your cast is stuck in something, then you'll do more damage to it.
Do more damage.
Yeah. But the Ares thing, you can't get it stuck in anything.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's just
so I guess you just avoid that. I guess you just avoid that on those sort of builds, though.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to use that ability from the mirror. You can always switch to the alternate ability and use that instead.
So I've said my least favorite god is Hermes. Has anyone got any gods that they actively avoid?
Oh, I also want to give some credit as well to good gods. That you take for items. Chaos. You always go Chaos if you ever got the Chaos gates.
I did that a few times.
You should always do that because the buffs that you get from it are amazing. It can be quite difficult because obviously it can nerf you for about 5 rooms and give you like a massive debuff. But once you clear it, though, the buffs are always 100% worth it all the time.
I think I got one where it was like you collected no money for 4 rooms, but you gain like 46% extra attack.
Yeah,
I was just
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
I just won't get any money then.
Yeah, 100% worth it. Yeah, every single time.
I never liked taking the hit to my health. Never liked taking the hit.
It was only like 20 health though.
It was only 20
you
health.
Could always gain it back pretty fast if you just didn't get hit.
Or what they called? What are the items called that you get from the like treasury thing? They're not
the boons.
Is it boons? Is that what they were? Is that what they are? I think the
boons are what gods give you.
Okay, that's not. Yeah, the boons are the circles. What are they called? You find them next to the weapons in the room before you go on a run.
Keepsakes.
Yes, there's a keepsake for chaos that lets you just basically not take any damage whenever you go into his gates.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that leads into the next question then. So what keepsakes did you use? Like, what was your main keepsake?
Go on, Alex, because I need to have a quick search because I can't remember what it was called. Give me a second.
I normally used either 2 or 3 on my runs, so I'd either start with extra health or extra money, and then sort of like after like the third, it was either like the third or second boss, I'd get the extra life, just in case.
There's a keepsake for that.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Yeah. I must have missed that. Do you remember who you got it off?
I think it might have been the skeleton.
Skeleton. Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used because like you probably guess my builds were just health, as much health as I could possibly get. So I used the spike collar from Cerberus, which gives you if you upgrade. I think it gives you like I can't remember like extra.
It's extra 50 health.
50 health, something like that. So I just preferred to have as much health as possible. Lewis, have you found what you're looking for?
Yeah, well, one of them was what Alex said was the one from Skelly.
Yeah.
The Lucky Tooth, it's called. Which, as Alex said, yeah, it just restores. I think when you max it out, it restores 100 of your health when it's depleted once per run. So it's pretty much just an extra life.
Yeah.
I use the Pierced Butterfly, which you got from Thanatos. Which again, when that's maxed out, you get 2% extra damage every encounter that you clear without taking damage. So that first entire floor, which is pretty easy for the most part, you can do all those rooms without taking damage. You can get like an easy like 20%, 30% damage buff by the time you're on the second floor. So that one was always like a go-to that I'd always use all the time. There was one more as well, but I can't remember or find it right now. It was the one where the next... It was, I can't remember which god it was for, but it was the next boon you find from like this specific god like has a 40% chance to be rare or better or something. Because I'd use that god a lot, so I'd always use a boon that would like give me an advantage of getting better stuff. So it was like mainly between those 3 that I'd switch to. But the Thanatos one was the one I'd use most of the time, like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So enemies. I can't remember any of the names of the enemies, but were there any enemies that you walked into a room and you saw them, you thought, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean, that you really didn't like coming up?
I could start with this one. You know the little carts that would explode anytime you got near them.
Yeah.
Yes, they were the worst.
Because I used the fists, I was always up close, so they'd always blow up on me. So I'd have to either use my cast or just take the damage.
Yeah. No. Ares' Beyblades are good for that because you can just leave them behind you and they'll follow you.
Yeah. I mean, anything on the 3rd floor for me that when it died spawned in, you had to it spawned in an extra, basically life that you had to kill before the enemy would die.
Yeah.
Like his ghost.
Yeah, it was the worst. I absolutely despise that because there was countless times where I just didn't realize that I didn't kill the ghost, so it would come back and then
you're running around.
Yeah.
And where's the final enemy? I've killed them all.
And then they just spawn back.
Yeah. Mine was, I did actually look up the name of this one. It's the Doomstone. So it only ever appears in rooms with a skull on it. So in the hard ones. It's like, so you know the little stones that shoot out lasers?
Oh, yes.
Big version.
Yes.
It's constantly spawning more of them, and the lasers bounce off each other. There's no point in killing the little ones. There's no point because it just keeps spawning more. So you just got to tank the big one and take the damage because there's no way to avoid damage in that room.
Yeah, I don't think I ever beat that enemy without taking damage in that room. It just wasn't possible. Like you said, I'd just run it and tank it and just try and kill it without losing as much health and just hope for the best.
You just go for speed then, don't you? Just go
literally
kill it as fast as possible.
Yeah, because nothing else you can do.
No.
There's I can't remember what it is. I wish I knew the names of these. Again, it's on like the 3rd floor. There's these. I can't remember what they are even. They like shoot pink projectiles that come at you really slowly. And if you don't...
they're like little like pink butterfly type thing.
Yeah, the butterfly.
Like a pink like circle.
That was my least favorite enemy.
Annoying.
They were the worst because they did a shit ton of damage, and if you didn't have any sort of speed upgrades or attack speed upgrades, it was like impossible to clear the room with them in. They were horrible. Absolutely despised them.
I also did not like the butterflies. I did not like them at all. So there's we'll get into the story shortly. Lewis, I hope you're prepared to give a story overview. So there's 4 boss encounters. They can like change slightly, but there's 4 boss encounters. Which was your favorite encounter?
For me, it's always gonna be the first encounter. Honestly, I really like the exchange between Hades and the Three Sisters. Not Hades, between Zagreus and the Three Sisters. I always found that really entertaining, and I also like the switch up between all 3 of them. They all play incredibly differently.
They do.
And if you're not used to it, it can become very, very difficult to actually fight them if you're not remembering it. The snake was fine. Again, I don't think it varies enough, personally.
It's always the same fight.
There are different versions of it, yeah, but like its attack pattern changes slightly, but just not enough to care. And the bull and the dude, what's he called? Asterius and Theseus, once you get the hang of them, they're not too bad, but those first couple times, man, they were tough. They weren't the easiest bosses to fight.
In my last run, I had to fight that Minotaur twice.
Yeah, sometimes you can find him, and then you do damage to him, and then he has less health.
Yeah, that helps.
Actual fight.
Yeah.
So really, you want to find him before the fight, just so the fight at the end's actually easier.
Yeah. I mean, I took like I think he had maybe a quarter of his health left when he left the room, but then when I walked into the room, he had considerably more than that.
That's the same thing. Yeah, you do that massive fight and you get him down to nothing, and then as you said, he doesn't even take down like a third of his health. It's like it's almost nothing, but it helps. Every
it's
little
something.
Helps. Yeah, it's nice.
My favorite as well was the first one, specifically Meg though. I just like Meg as the character. I thought she was great.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean the sister, I can't remember what did she repeat over and over again? Like that murderer. Or something like
murder.
that. Yeah, murder over and over again. She was the easiest by far.
And Zagreus is
she was the easiest.
Every time she'd say murder, he's like, please stop. I'm not a murderer, please. No, yeah, they were great. All the sisters were really good.
Yeah, I like the comment that Zagreus does every time you're about to go into the boss fight because he guesses which sister it's going to be.
Yeah,
he does.
And if anyone else picks up on that, but I always thought that was funny.
Is yours the same then, Alex? Is yours the sister as well?
Honestly, I think the bull and the what's he called?
Theseus. Wait, Theseus and Asterius.
Theseus is the guy, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought they were my favorite because it's the fact how you have to like pretty much kill the bull first and then kill the other guy. It's like 2 different bosses at once, which I always thought it's challenging because you can easily lose a life on there if you've got all 3 lives left. Then it's just like, oh fuck's sake, lost a life like right before Hades. But it was a fun fight.
His variation might be the scariest as well, because Theseus can get a random buff from any god, and you don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So you can never really
always
prepare for it.
Halfway down his health bar as well. If you kill if you kill Theseus first, does he get that? Does he get like halfway to his health bar?
Oh yeah, no. If you will ruin yourself if you try and kill Theseus first, because you'll have to deal with the bull, which is quite hard anyway, and then him with the god power as well. Also, like going all around the room. So you always try and kill the bull first. Or I don't know if is he even a bull? Should we keep calling him a bull?
He's a minotaur.
I was going to say he's a minotaur.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bull's just easier to say though.
Theseus and the Minotaur were my least favorite by a damn.
Really?
Basically because like I can get through that game without losing any lives up until I get to that fight. And no matter how hard a fight or what abilities I've got, I will lose a life on that fight. And it's not even like if I get the Minotaur down, no problem, because they just hide behind a pillar, so Theseus
Just
can't get me.
Theseus.
Yeah, so Theseus. I don't know what my issue is with him, but he just gets me every single time. I don't know if I'm not being fast enough or something.
I mean, I can understand getting hit. Theseus, it's the thing that would always hit me with Theseus wasn't his. There was never the god power or anything. It's just I'd always think I'd have the timing down for his charge on his spear, and I'm like, I can definitely dodge this whenever he's about to throw it. But I'd always just end up getting it wrong by like half of a second every single time. Maybe it would shoot faster sometimes, I don't know. But I'd always just have the timing just a little bit off, which would cause me to get hit. Everything else wasn't that bad. The bull would be annoying sometimes, but I felt like I'd fought him so many times, especially with the additional go at him on the floor, that I sort of got used to his patterns. But yeah, Theseus just ended up always being annoying, no matter how many times I actually fought him.
Yeah. What did we think of Hades, by the way? Like the actual like boss fight. To me, it seemed a little bit bullshit because he's constantly being fucking shielded by mobs. So it's like you're always on mob control because you got to get rid of the crystals. And then he's disappearing and all that stuff. It's just I can't. It's bullshit for me because I can't tank it. Like it's impossible to tank.
I mean, I agree. The fight is hard. But he is Hades.
I guess so. It's the final boss as well.
God of Death.
Yeah.
Like he should be a beast, which he is.
He's definitely a beast.
That second phase especially is really hard.
Despite how many times I've played that game, I can still not get like a win streak of like more than one in that game. Like it just doesn't happen. No matter how good I think I am at it, he still just destroys me at the end. Because I can get to Hades quite consistently, pretty much every run. But beating Hades.
That's how I was towards the end as well.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, I always make sure I've got 200 coins left over just in case I come across the purple fountains you can buy stuff from, just in case it gives you an extra death defiance. Always, definitely.
The first time people played Hades with that fountain, did anyone? Because you know when you get to the end of the floor, there's the fountain where you can buy stuff, and the fountain where you can sell stuff.
Yeah.
The first time I ever played it, I walked up to that fountain where you sell stuff, and I saw a bunch of stuff, and I thought it was buying, and I just sold my entire bill. I was like, oh,
Jesus.
Okay, well, that's a bit sad. And then I immediately just died on the next floor.
I never did it. I never did it that bad. I did sell my my most prized ability at the time though. Even I knew what the fountain did. I must have gone to the wrong area.
At least it wasn't just me. Well, yeah. Kind of, anyway.
Yeah, so speaking of purple fountains and stuff like that, the mirror in the room. What ability did you go for first? You know, you're spending your purple tears, or whatever they're called, the mirror in the Hades.
The darkness.
Yeah.
What do you mean by first? Because I don't know if I just took a weird approach to it. With what I did,
well, you have to buy them. You have to. Obviously, you've only got so many.
Well, you start off with like 3 or 4 before you have to buy some with the keys. Yeah. So well, the way I did it is I just maxed everything out one by one, starting from the top. So by the time I was unlocking stuff at the bottom with the keys, I'd just max out whatever I unlocked, and then.
Well, that's what I did after a bit. Like once I'd run out of keys and I had loads of darkness or something like that. But for me, I saw Death Defiance and I thought, right, that's the one I've got to get first. So I'd save up enough darkness to completely do that before I did anything else.
If I remember correctly, yeah, I think the first thing I did, because you start off with 3, is it 3 or 4 abilities you can buy?
Yeah,
Shadow Presence I maxed out in, which is the one where you do damage from behind, and I think you can up that to like 50% or something. And Death Defiance was also the other one that I did straight away, but I feel like that's a go-to for most people because the extra life just helps so much. It does so much.
I can't remember what I did first. I'm pretty sure I just started from the top, and then I was just like, right, let's see. Just whatever I had, I just did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I went for Death Defiance though.
Death Defiance.
Because I saw extra life, and I was just like, yeah. Gotta get that.
Yeah, and then after that, I did the one where you get more health every time you enter a room. Like it'll restore some of your health.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah. So that gets really good later on when you upgrade it more.
Yeah.
Especially when you get it from the purple fountain as well, where you can like up it by 10%. Yeah. So you getting like 30 health pretty much every time you go into a room.
Yeah, no, that was good. So we're going to have to move on to the story. Lewis, do you want to give us a quick overview?
I'll give you a quick overview. Yeah, basically, you've got Zagreus, who is Hades' son, as you probably figured out, and basically he decides that he doesn't want to be in the underworld anymore, because the underworld's just kind of trash and there isn't really much to do, even being the son of Hades. So I don't know how much of this I want to spoil it. So his mother. Should I spoil it? Should I just like say?
It's been out.
I'm only going to spoil it up to like
It's been out for over a year now.
I'll only spoil it to the. So basically, his adoptive mum, Nyx, who you think is his actual mum at the beginning of the game, she basically gives him the ability to start escaping the underworld, but against Hades' orders, because he don't really want his son leaving. But yeah, basically, Nyx gives him the ability to actually start leaving. She's the one who gives him the mirror. And access to all these abilities. And when he actually starts escaping, the gods then reach out to him, and you find out he has all these connections with the other gods, because obviously they're all related to Hades in some way, which means they're related to Zagreus. So as the story goes on, it just becomes a thing of Zagreus wanting to actually find out what's outside of the underworld and what's going on in the world around him and his connections to all these different people. Because especially when he realizes that his Nyx isn't his actual mother, and it's actually a woman called
Persephone.
That encourages him even more to actually leave, and it obviously makes him hate his father more as well, because he doesn't understand the truth and he actually doesn't know what's real and what's fake anymore. So when he does finally escape at the end of your first run, he does meet Persephone. Is it Persephone?
It's Persephone. It's Persephone.
Which is actually his birth mother. Which is nice and dandy. Everyone loves that. It's nice to see him meet. It's actually a really cool interaction for the first time. But sadly, after that, you then realize, or at least Zagreus realizes that his body doesn't allow him to stay outside of the underworld for longer than like a restricted amount of time. And Hades actually knew this when he was escaping. He just chose not to tell him because he's a bit of a dick. So he does escape for the first time and actually meets his mother. He asks her questions, finds out about basically how she met his dad, why she left, all that, and then he actually gets sent back to the underworld, and then after that it becomes basically a repeated affair of him escaping 9 more times, to then basically learn everything he can about his mother, and then on the final run, something actually changes, which I won't say, but they solve an issue that needs to be solved. And yeah, it becomes quite happy after that.
Yeah, so it's a happy ending then.
Yeah, it's a happy ending.
Nice. So do anyone have any favorite characters or anything like that?
Favorite characters. My favorite characters for me will be Thanatos. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he's an edgelord, but I don't know, something about Thanatos just does it for me.
I like Thanatos as well.
Deaf? Is he deaf?
Yeah, he's deaf. Yeah. His relationship with Zagreus I really like, because it's like he doesn't like what Zagreus is doing, but at the same time he doesn't not want to help him because he sees him as like a brother.
Yeah.
And I like that connection between both of them. There is Dusa, which I think is great. She's a great comic relief character. She has no clue what's going on. Obviously, she's in love with Zagreus, and Zagreus is just clueless. Not a single idea what's going on. Orpheus, another fantastic character, especially when you get more into his story as that goes on. Orpheus, by the way, is the musician. If I
the one that's sat next to Hades in the throne room.
Yeah, and Hades is like, play something, please, and Orpheus is like, nah, not today. But yeah, Orpheus is a great character, and his relationship with Eurydice. That again, you find out more as the game goes on. Super cool connection between those two. I think those are like my favorite set of characters for the most part. And I'll give a shout out to Hypnos as well, because he just don't know what's going on. Hypnos is Nyx's son, I think. But Hypnos, yeah, he never knows what's going on. Whenever you speak to him, he's all happy and all cheery, but he's just a bit stupid. He don't know what's going on in the world. But those like sort of my favorite like couple like 4 characters. I'd say those like the ones that stand out to me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Alex,
How about you guys?
Do you expect any?
I do like Thanatos. Like pretty much same reason as Lewis. Meg was cool. There's like that little green blob that she sometimes speaks to as well.
Yeah,
that always
Dusa,
just made me
Dusa,
yeah.
The little Medusa
Always
head.
just made me laugh because just scared of Zagreus.
Yeah, I think I just like Meg. Like I don't think I've got any like specific characters that would stand out for me at least. For me, that like this isn't my kind of story kind of game. Like
no, yeah, I agree with you.
yeah,
with that.
it's not something I'm gonna. I know Lewis, you love it. But it's not something that I'm gonna like. I'm not gonna like relate to a lot, or not gonna like get close with or anything like that. It's but I do like Meg, and one thing I did like is like because Meg is a standout in this is the voice acting in this game.
I was gonna say I don't know if
absolutely
it's just
great.
Meg's voice actor that makes me like the character so
Yeah.
much, but
It might
something
be.
about it is really good. I think it's just the voice actor. She does a great job.
Yeah, no, she really does.
I don't know, something about her voice just sounds really good. I don't know.
Yeah, she sounds bored and pissed off, but also just apathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like during a run as well, you know, like when the gods would speak to you, would you actually listen to that, Lewis, or would you just skip through it?
I listen to it every time because it was different every time. The dialogue doesn't repeat.
I read it. I listened to it.
I got sick of it after like the first time because I'm just like I just want to carry on with my run. I just didn't like I did. It was literally a massive paragraph about that big. I'm just like right, let me get back into the action.
Yeah, but this is a unique case. This game specifically is a very unique case for me because I've explained this to Alex before. I don't really games where like I don't know Fallout and like Skyrim and or just like I don't know. I'm trying to think of other stuff, but stuff where
Oh, is it time to shit on Bethesda games? Let's shit on Bethesda games.
That's just the first thing that came to mind. Like Control as well. It's the same thing. When you have to go out of your way to actually like find notebooks, data books, whatever, and read them and basically formulate the story yourself through like other people's writings and all that. I just can't get into it. I don't care enough. I want to play the game. I'm not going out of my way to read all this stuff, especially when you pick up a notepad or whatever it is, and it's literally like 3 pages long. It's like, no, I'm not doing it. But Hades was one of the first games in a while that I played where, for some reason, the lore just sort of it captured me instantly, and I don't know why. I think it is just because the voice acting and stuff is just so well done for all the characters, and the writing is really good. That I could just sit there and listen to them talk about anything because I wouldn't really read what was going on, but I'd listen. Like anytime a character was about to talk, I'd just let them do the thing and just listen to them talk like an audiobook or something. I'd just like chill out. And it's one of the first times in a while that a game has like actually managed to make me like super invested into the lore and care about all these different characters. Especially with how many characters there are in Hades, but like I can remember them all in my head, like visually what they look like and like generally what they talk about and the sort of characters that they are. And I don't know, a lot of games just don't do that for me because I just can't get into it. I've always been like that. I like story in my games, but if it's not just like giving it to me, then I'm probably not going to go out of my way to read it. But this game, after playing, I went out my way like reading about the character wikis online and stuff like that, and just getting super invested into the lore. Yeah, and I think it's just props to how well the game's presented and how well it was built.
Yeah, I believe a lot of people like I have those kinds of thoughts about Hades. Like the reason that these wikis and stuff exist is obviously testament to that. Where you can go and look up the characters, and just like I say, like everything Alex is the same. It's just not for me, kind of thing.
Yeah, I can completely understand that. Yeah.
I do agree with you though. Like with like say Fallout and Skyrim, where you have to go out and find these notes and stuff, that pisses me off to no end. The exception for me is like things like BioShock, where they've got like voice memos that are usually in your path.
Yeah, that I was about to agree. And again, I feel like it's similar to Hades. Like the voice memos and stuff, I can listen to because it doesn't feel like I'm doing an extra chore and having to do it myself. Like I can just listen as like a passerby or just in the background and just let it go, and I can enjoy it. I can absorb that a lot more. I'm not playing a game to read a book, really. Yeah. Like I'm playing to play a game, and I feel like audio logs and stuff like add to the atmosphere. I feel like reading doesn't.
Well, really. Yeah, it helps as well. Oh, go on.
No, go on now. Let's go, mate.
No, I was just gonna say with like the audio logs and stuff, like because you can pick them up and you can carry on exploring rather than waiting,
Yeah, I knew
like
you were
just
gonna
reading
say
the
the
book,
exact
and
same
then you
thing as
finish
me.
reading the book, and then you forget what you're gonna be like. Wow, which way was I going again? Oh, I was going this way, and then you're just going off in a like completely different direction. The thing is taking you out of the atmosphere to read a book.
And this is the issue with Hades, because it stops you. When you pick up the ability, it stops you, so you can listen to this rather than just playing in the background. It stops you, and that's my issue.
I would have preferred that. I would have actually listened to it then.
Yeah.
Like say like if it let me if say like fucking Poseidon started talking like while I was like selecting his thing, and then as I'm leaving the room, he's still talking, and like he can still carry on talking while I'm like doing the next room. I thought that might have been better.
Or you can even talk as you enter the room, while you're fighting and stuff, things like that.
Yeah.
There's definitely quality of life stuff that they could hand out that would make it a lot better. But I also would say though that the game does a good job with. I don't think you really miss out per se if you were to skip the dialogue whenever you pick stuff. I don't think it ruins the experience in any way.
No,
enjoy the game.
It definitely doesn't.
Which I think is a good thing. They obviously thought about that when they designed it. That a lot of people just would want to get back into the game and just not care about what people were saying. But yeah, I can completely understand your two's perspective. Like I said, this is a rare case for me. I normally wouldn't be on this side. I'd be on your side usually with stuff like this. Like genuinely, this is just a very odd case.
Yeah. Well, the main draw of a roguelike is the gameplay, or a good roguelike is the gameplay anyway. The story is just a bonus at the end of the day. Because the fact that you playing it and you're like, oh, one more run, that's the gameplay doing that. That's not the story. The story's just a bonus. But we're going to switch over to Niall with this note that is definitely sent in. It is not forgotten about. So I'm going to play that now.
Right. Okay. So the reason I don't know what they've told you. The reason I'm not there on the pod is because I moved into a new house and they promised internet by the time I move in, but they lied to me and it's not going to be there till Wednesday, and that's when the pod goes out. So they recorded it today. I think today's Sunday. But anyway, so I'm currently driving. I'm currently working my shift as a pizza delivery driver, and I've got 3 minutes to get to my destination and 3 minutes to get to the address where I'm delivering this pizza. So I've already wasted a minute of it doing the preamble, so I'm going to stop. But yeah, Hades. Hades is a good game. Like, there's no denying that. But it's not a game that really ever grabbed me. And it grabbed a lot of people. And initially, I thought it was going to grab me. Because it did so many things that I don't like about roguelikes, and I don't like roguelikes. Let's just start with that. It did a lot of things that I don't usually, that I hate about roguelikes. It did it right. Like, the main issue I have with roguelikes, and pretty much Hades as well, by the end of it, is that, that's not Crash. I can't go down that street. I don't know what he's trying to tell me. I mean, I could, but I'm a bit scared of doing that. It looks like a footpath. But yeah, there's no, like, feeling, really, of forward progression. I mean, there always is, because, like, with almost any roguelike, because you're unlocking items. You're getting further ahead in levels, and there is progression. It's just not my type of progression. For me, I prefer linear ticking of the boxes style progression, where I am constantly, sort of almost, regardless of skill, getting closer to the end of the game. But with roguelikes, it's just kind of, that's just not the case. It's just sort of like fail, and you just got to build up your natural skill level over and over. And I'm a firm believer of games really having to, they need to put much more effort into the between times. I think I mentioned it on the first podcast. The between times between turning the game off and turning it back on again. They really, I think I know what this house is. It has to go on like a fucking 10-minute walk. I remember now. No wonder why the sat nav's messing up. Yeah, it's sort of stopping me. It's telling me to stop here. But I'll talk to you for a little sec. Don't tell me, boss. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I don't like Hades. with Hades and with any roguelike, it's the fact that when I die, there's a little like sort of loading screen, and then I spawn back in, and I'm at the beginning of like where I started. Sure, some things have changed. I've got new items, the story changed. Hades has really got a good job of adding a lot of things which have changed, which welcome you back. But that wasn't enough for me. It's that moment where you've died and you're back at the beginning, and I just think I don't want to do it again. Same with Isaac, where I die and it shows I have to go back to the loading screen, and I just don't want to hit start again. It's just that thing, and that's what's the killer for roguelikes. Because when I'm playing them, when I'm playing Isaac, when I'm playing Hades, I'm having a blast. I'm having a fun time, but it's just getting back to pressing that start button again. It's just not my thing at all. I'm going to stop the indicator because it's probably annoying you. So that's the long and short of it. Why I didn't even complete the 10 hours. I got about 5 hours into the game, and I don't know if they mentioned it on the podcast, but on the back end, we try and complete every game. But the minimum, if you're not enjoying it, is to do 10 hours. But really, it's kind of. I mean, obviously, I was incredibly busy starting uni up again. The manufacturing print run of my latest board game has started this month. And also I'm moving house, which is kind of like the biggest time consumer. All of that played a factor, but really, if I wanted to get 10 hours done in the game, I would have done. I did play other games. I played Tony Hawk's, I played Super Mario Galaxy. It just wasn't for me, and I don't think roguelikes will ever be, unless they sort of change fundamental aspects of the game. But yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Niall. That was very eloquent, probably.
It definitely happened.
It was definitely him. It was definitely him shitting on the game.
Yeah. 5 minutes Seriously, I spoke to him the other day, and he said, I said, what do you think of it? And he just looked at me and went, I don't want to be one of those guys who just shits on every game. So I never got his actual thoughts on it. I just got that.
I mean, I'm starting to feel like he doesn't enjoy any video game, but yeah, we'll see.
Is a board
apart
game
from Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, he loves Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
he loves Hollow Knight. And Portal 2. Those are his two games.
The only games.
Yeah.
So that was Hades anyway. We obviously we got our there's some negatives we discussed there at the end, but it's a mostly positive experience. Like it's absolutely great. I'm really glad. Really glad it was on Game Pass, and I'm really glad we chose to play it for our video game book club.
Yeah, there may be other video game book clubs that we do where there are a lot more negative things to say, but Hades comes quite close to being.
I mean, we already had Dishonored.
Yeah, we already had
That was our negative podcast.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, Hades good. Buy it if you want to buy it, or Game Pass also has it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on. So as we've got time left, we're gonna move on to a little bit of news. We're gonna discuss the Nintendo Direct that happened. When this goes up, it'll be last week. So we're going to discuss some highlights from that. First of all, we'll just get into the absolute fucking meat and veg of it. The Mario movie cast was announced. So I'm going off memory here because I've got the notes open in front of me, but I can't quite find them. So we've got Chris Pratt as Mario. We've got Charlie Day as Luigi. We've got Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, which I support that one completely.
Yeah, I think that was one that I saw where I was like, I couldn't laugh at that one. It was just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got Jack Black as Bowser. We've got.
I'm honestly excited for Jack Black as Bowser. I think he's gonna kill it.
I can't remember Key's full name. Does anyone know it?
Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan Michael Key. He's playing Toad, and we've got and we've got Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Yeah.
It still sounds great.
What a cast. It just got better and better every single time.
Yeah. It's completely rocked the internet. Like, everyone's going crazy about it because the fact that Charles Martinet is doing cameo appearances.
It pisses me off, honestly. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just disrespectful. There was no reason. To be fair, Mario's never really spoken in any game, and obviously Charles Martinet voices Mario, but he obviously gives the oohs and the wheeze. Has Charles Martinet ever done a Mario speaking lines?
So he's done it. I can only speak from what I've seen, and he's done it live as a mocap Mario. I think it might have been in the Nintendo World Store in New York or something like that, and he was speaking to people through a camera and shit like that. So he can do it. It's just I've had a bit of distance from this now. It was a few days ago now, and maybe Charles Martinet would be annoying for an hour and a half.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it would get really great if he kept doing that voice for over an hour. I completely get why they didn't. I just feel like Chris Pratt is just an odd choice.
Chris Pratt. Why Chris Pratt?
Like I don't think he brings anything to the table. The other actors that were announced do. Chris Pratt, I don't know.
Why not an Italian American actor? You know, or just an
Yeah.
Italian actor? Why? There's plenty of them. so why not do that? I mean, I know
Joey from Friends.
Joey from Friends.
Joey from Friends, yeah, exactly.
He'd do a great job.
He
Matt
would have been
LeBlanc
the
would
best
do a great
Mario.
job. Yeah, but it's like there's a Disney film come out recently called Luca, and that's got like Italian American actors in. And so just why not just look into that? Why Chris? It's a cash grab at the end of the day.
It's a cash grab, yeah.
It's a kids film, and we need to accept that it's a kids film because I mean, it's Illumination Studios and everything. They've been known for Minions and Despicable Me and stuff like that. It's a kids film, but I still don't want it ruined. You know.
I mean, Miyamoto's reason for it is quite funny. I don't know if you've watched it back since we watched that night. But when he announces Chris Pratt, the guy's supposed to translate Miyamoto, and he's like, "We've chosen Chris Pratt-san as the voice for Mario. He's so cool." And I'm like, is that what Miyamoto actually thinks? Is that why he did this? Did he watch Jurassic World and was like, "He's so cool"?
Yeah. I can't imagine Miyamoto sounding like a foreign schoolgirl over Chris Pratt.
He's so cool.
I'm not sure how much of a say Miyamoto had in this. To be honest with you.
Yeah, he's just there. He just turns up to be like, I'm the Mario man, and then he probably doesn't make any of the decisions after that. He just signs the paper saying, yeah, you can use Mario, and then he gets his paycheck and goes, probably.
I've been thinking about this, and do you think we're going to get a tie-in game for it?
I mentioned this as a joke, and I don't know. It really depends on... It really depends on the route the film goes, because I don't exactly know what it's going to do yet. If it's gonna be set, if it's gonna just basically be like a Mario adventure of any of the games, but just animated, then yeah, I guess they can make a game for it. But it really just depends on what the plot is, because I'm just trying to think of other animated films, and if I think back to any other animated film, like how would you make a game out of that really? Because the plot never really gives you enough to design a game around it. I don't know.
I'd be surprised if they don't follow the formula and Peach gets kidnapped or something like that, and they gotta go get him from Bowser. It'll just be moving through the world, stuff like that. So the reason I ask is I don't want Chris Pratt voicing Mario in a video game. I don't want that. I don't want Mario to talk in a video game.
It becomes the norm, and that's just Mario. Miyamoto's like, damn, this guy's way better. Let's get Chris Pratt in every
Can
game.
you imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
They re-released Mario 64 and just got Chris Pratt going, whoa!
I don't know, yeah, there's a lot that's gonna happen with that film. I honestly feel like the film's gonna be great. I feel like it's gonna be a good time.
It's Illumination, and the thing is, if you can hate on Minions as much as you want, but they make good movies. Like, they're really good at it.
Like, I'm happy they got it as an animation studio. I feel like it is gonna be a really fun time, and I feel like people will get used to the Chris Pratt thing when it comes out.
Happens. Yeah.
And when we actually hear his voice, I don't know if he'll tease it at some point, but when we actually hear his voice, I'm sure people will become accustomed to it. But honestly, in my head, it's just I scrap off Chris Pratt, and I'm just excited for everyone else in the movie, just because I think it's very funny. And it may sound stupid. This is probably one of the weirdest things ever going to come out of my mouth, but Seth Rogen seems like the perfect fit for Donkey Kong.
No, he definitely is the best.
And I don't know why, but it just works for some reason, and I really want to see it. So yeah.
I just can't imagine. I can imagine like Mario talking. I can't imagine like Donkey Kong talking like at all.
Have you seen the videos on Twitter with
I don't know, like, even if the film's shit, I'll always remember that direct as like just some of the funniest 2 minutes of my life. Watching any video game direct ever. It was just incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. Like you say, I think once we hear Chris Pratt doing it, I'm sure we'll get used to it, or I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't think it'll be anything offensive. Well, this is it. Is he gonna be Italian American? Because he's not.
Massive. He's not. I think he's just gonna speak like Chris Pratt, but just give it a bit of juice. Give it a bit of kids movie juice, I guess. I don't think he's gonna, if he does an Italian accent, it will make it funnier, but I
Yeah.
think he would get cancelled.
Oh yeah, definitely.
immediately.
He'd get cancelled.
So I don't think he'd risk that. No, no matter how cool he is, I don't think he could risk it. So yeah.
Yeah, but as I say, Anya Taylor-Joy's Peach, great. I think that's a fucking great choice.
That was just a good pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really complain.
So moving on slightly. So Nintendo Switch Online is getting an expansion. So they're putting Nintendo 64 games and Mega Drive games on there, but they are charging you for it. How do we feel about this?
Go on, Alex. Give us your thoughts.
I think it's good that they're putting Sega Genesis and N64 games on, as long as it's like £5 or less more. Then
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. If it's anything more than that, then that's kind of scummy, I think.
We get Netflix increases every year, to rise with inflation. Well, it's usually more than inflation, but it's usually to rise with inflation. Like you say, if it's a little bit, then I'm not bothered about it. But if they try to get towards like PS Plus or Xbox Live prices, then they're starting to take the piss as such. Because it's just
if they want me to pay more, put GameCube games on the Switch.
Just put the back catalog.
Then we're talking Nintendo.
Yeah, just put the fucking back catalog. We know we can run it. So don't drip feed us games.
Yeah, for me personally, regardless of the amount that they're going to increase it by, I think it's very scummy. And before people are like, well, I mean, they're giving you more games, so like, why is that not worth paying more money? Well, for starters, compared to other video game console subscription, online subscriptions, Nintendo Online's just by far the worst one. The online ecosystem and architecture is awful. It's terrible. It's gotten slightly better with the upgrades that they made, but it's not even worth the £20 or whatever that we're paying a year for it.
It's not.
The games that are already on there, great. You might say, oh yeah, they've got the SNES catalog on there and the NES catalog. 90% of the SNES catalog and the NES catalog that's on there, no one knows what games they are. No one plays them. Don't lie to yourself. Don't act like you're getting good money and good value out of what you're paying, because you're not.
No.
So no matter the money increase, for me personally, I think it's scummy. I will still buy it if it's a couple quid more. If it's like £3 more, like every month or whatever, like added onto it, then like fine, whatever, I'll do it. But that's just because like I'm a sucker for Nintendo stuff. I think even with the increase in price, it still doesn't make any sense to me, because they're still going to be drip feeding us these games at an incredibly slow rate, probably like 1 or 2 every 6 months, probably. And you can't call that a good. If you paid for Netflix a tenner a month or however much it is now, and they released one new thing every month, you'd be pissed. You'd be outraged. And pretty much at this point, the reason for Nintendo Online is solely for these why can't I think of the word? These emulated games,
retro games,
whatever it is. The sole purpose of Nintendo Online is these retro games. It's not like the online is just like an extra feature. No one really cares about that. But it's not like you can download apps on the Nintendo Online. You haven't got a browser. Like you can't do anything other than play these games. That's what you're paying for. So to charge us more to then drip feed us games, I just think is a bit outrageous. There's no real logic to it to me, but it's because of the Nintendo that they can do it. They can do whatever they want. They're Nintendo. That's it. They have the power.
Does anyone else just miss the Virtual Console? Like, it was so much simpler back then.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing with the increase in the subscription. Just let me buy the game.
Yeah.
Let me buy the game and download it on the console, and you'll probably make more money than you ever would off the subscription shit.
Definitely, especially the prices they're charging on the Wii. Definitely.
Yeah. Because people want to own these games, and there's zero reason. They're doing it for no other reason than they want people to pay for the online. That's it. Because we know the games can run, and it's not like the hub where you play these games is doing anything. It's just where to select the games. Yeah. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me why they're limiting it, especially on the Wii U. It still exists perfectly fine, where you can still go buy all these games and own them. Yeah. There's no weird like subscription system. You just buy the game you want, you have it forever. And I don't know, just Nintendo are weird. they have so much power in like the gaming community, but they don't do anything smart with the power that they have. They just choose to like upset people.
I don't understand. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in their marketing department just once. You know what I mean? Just to find out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, they start.
They've got. Sorry, Liz, go on.
I was just about to say they start talking about what to do for Nintendo Online, and then the guy comes in and he pulls out his phone and says, "This is Chris Price." It's so cool. And everyone's like, "Yeah," and everyone's like, "Wait, what? What were we doing?" Nah, just making Nintendo Online £5 more.
Like I say, I just want to buy them. I just want to buy the games. They've got, like you say, they've got so much power in their back catalogue. And all these beloved games, some considered to be the best games of all time. Just let us buy them. I'm not even going to complain that I've already bought them multiple times before. I own them back there. I own them on the Wii Virtual Console. I own them on the Wii U Virtual Console. You know what I mean? I'm happy to buy them again. Just sell them to me.
Every Nintendo fan bought the same game 14 different times and doesn't care. Bought it 14 different times. I don't know.
I'm trying to think how many times I own Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's 6.
And that's what I mean. That Nintendo know people will buy these games repeatedly if they just release them, but they seem to like really be backing this subscription-based idea, and I just don't know where it came from. Really, I don't know why.
It's strange.
So much like time into this, and they see this as like the future. Like I know there's been like rumors of other companies being like the future of gaming will be like a subscription-based service where that's pretty much how you play everything, and maybe that's what they're trying to lean towards. But with only retro games, it doesn't really feel. It feels like they're tackling their own unique market rather than the new market that everyone's trying to go for, and it just seems a bit odd. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, the day that happens, where everything goes to subscription services, I'll be a happy bunny. Like genuinely, I'll be really happy about that. Like I like owning physical stuff, but just knowing that. Like I'm paying the exact same amount a month, and I'll always have the newest games. That's like the idea of like a good time to me. Do you not agree?
Yeah. No, I can agree to an extent. The thing is, I'm always gonna love physical stuff. I do like the simpleness of just having a subscription and getting whatever games you want. I'm a big fan of it, but I'll never want physical stuff to go away. Pretty much, I always want the option to get it. But yeah, I don't know, subscriptions do seem to be the only way really to go forward with the amount of games that are coming out and how much they're costing now.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of people, that is sort of the only way they'll be able to like play games. So I do agree with it in a lot of in a lot of different ways. But I never want that physical option to go away.
Yeah. Is there anyone else wants to talk about from the direct? Actually, what we're gonna do? We're gonna have Smash Bros predictions because they're doing a Smash Bros direct on the 5th of October, I believe it is 5th of October. We're going to announce the final character, and I want official predictions, please, from both of us.
I've got mine. It's defo II from Monkey Ball. Why is it on the 5th of October? That's when Monkey Ball comes out.
Is it actually when Monkey Ball comes out? Shit.
It's when Monkey Ball comes out.
Fuck.
It's II.
It's gonna be II. It'd be such a weird.
It's II. I know it's a weird character. That's why Sakurai is gonna do it.
How do you make a character that's just a ball, a fighter? What do you do? They're just a ball.
He comes out of the ball sometimes.
That's not Monkey Ball though. No one's like looking for II outside of the ball. That's not. That's the way you play Monkey Ball.
Yeah, what abilities would he have outside of the ball?
Yeah, they tried that in a PS2 or GameCube game, and it was awful. They don't want to put II outside the ball. He stays in the ball. But...
I don't know.
That's my prediction. That's what I think it's going to be. It's going to be something stupid like II.
Yeah, I'd be impressed if it is. Like, but I'm not convinced at all. I can't imagine how he'd control at all.
Yeah, that's my issue. I don't.
How would it hit people? Is the ball just going to keep like ping ponging back? Things like that.
Well, I don't know. I didn't make the game.
You're just the idea, man. You're not in charge of the technical parts. Yeah, I get you. Lewis, what do you reckon?
Right. So I'm just basing this off Smash 4, right? Smash 4, they did the exact same thing where I think they announced. Oh, what were the last two fighters? Was it Cloud? And then
it was Cloud and Bayonetta, wasn't it?
Oh, did they announce them at the same time? Or was it
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Bayonetta was the last fighter, though.
Yeah, she was. Well, basically, I think they showed Cloud, which was insane, because no one ever thought that would happen. And then they were like, yeah, we've got one more announcement in like a month, Smash Direct. And it was Bayonetta, which is a huge character, a massive deal. I also believe it has to be a massive deal because this, obviously, Smash as a series isn't. We're probably going to get another Smash at some point, but as it stands, this is truly like the final Smash character. Because Smash Ultimate is like the pinnacle of Smash. We've got everything, literally everything anyone could ever ask for. So one more character is being announced for this game as the final character. If they gave it to II, people would be pissed off, and I don't think they'd do something weird like that. I feel like they're going to do something that's a massive deal, like a huge deal, like in the gaming community. So off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of, I'm gonna like cheat a little bit and say 2, but I think it'll either be Sora from Kingdom Hearts or Master Chief.
I don't think I would like to think that it won't be Sora.
Why?
Because it's just another anime sword character.
That's not stopped Nintendo
it's
before.
not stopped it before. But I'd like to think that part is over now. I agree that Master Chief is one of the likely candidates. It really is. Because it's either him or Crash. Because there's such massive deals, and that, like you say, the last one, if they bring out another Fire Emblem character, then honestly, people are just going to cry.
I can make the argument though, because do you remember in the last Fighter Pass when we didn't even know there was going to be a second one? The last fighter was Byleth. We didn't know that there was going to be a second pass.
Yeah, but they did.
But Sakurai knew though.
Yeah,
Sakurai knew, but second pass.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
Like he's already stated that this pass is the last.
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing else. So I feel like it has to be something special, and it has to be like we're talking like an elite gaming character that like everyone knows. Yeah. I feel like it has to be. Maybe it won't be one of those two, but
so I think that even takes Doom Guy out of the equation, because he's not. I mean, Doom's great, and I love Doom.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do, but I don't think he's as iconic as like Master Chief or Crash.
Oh yeah, definitely not. No.
And now I know who I want to be the final fighter, but it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I want Waluigi for Smash, please.
Fuck off.
No.
If they do Waluigi for Smash, I will turn off the stream. I will be so outraged. I'll be so mad.
The thing is,
like you did with the Byleth announcement.
Exactly.
If you do a poll, if they did a poll of every Nintendo fan ever, I'm sure Waluigi will be up there in like the top 5. Like, legitimately.
Yeah, but no one actually... It's a meme, though.
It's not a meme for me. It's not a meme for me. I promise you it's not.
Like, why do you want him? What has Waluigi ever given you other than pain in Mario Party? That's all he's given me. That's all he's
given me as well.
I've always liked Waluigi. I don't know if it's just the fact that my favourite colour is purple and he dresses purple. I've just always liked Waluigi. I've always played with him in Mario Kart. If it's a sports game or something, I'll always pick Waluigi. I don't know why, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same, because a lot of people want him for Smash as well. I just like Waluigi. All right, I just want to.
At least like Wario had games to make you like the character. What Waluigi hasn't done anything.
Exactly. He's not been given the chance. He's not been given the chance. It's time for Waluigi to shine. Get him in Smash. Get him his own game. Waluigi for president.
As sad as that would be, I could see if Waluigi was announced, I could see it just because of how much of a meme it's been for like the entire lifespan of Smash. Like, I could see it as a potential. I just think it would be a very bad move to make that the final character we ever get in Super Smash Bros. Another Mario character that is just... And Mario, Waluigi, and Luigi, they're always the same character, isn't it? Like, what's Waluigi going to bring to the table?
Tennis.
Nothing.
Bring tennis. Like, exactly. It was put in Other M. I believe it's called Other M. No, it's not called Other M. It's called Project M, maybe. The Smash Bros. Where they put loads of characters in.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's fun. Like, he's got tennis balls, he's got Mario Party dice. He could just basically bring things from all the Mario sports games that he's been in and use those.
Okay.
Hitting people with the dice block from Mario Party.
Let's change the question one more time. Out of everyone we haven't said, and it has to be an iconic gaming character, one guess each. Someone we haven't said, it has to be like an iconic gaming character though. Go on, who?
Someone we've not said already.
Someone we've not said. So no Chief, no Crash, and no.
I'm just gonna look behind me at my game show.
Because I'm like, and it could be as out there as possible. It can be proper stupid. It's not going to happen, whether it's licensing or whatever. Just a popular gaming character that is iconic and could be in it, but just isn't going to happen. I'm going to say...
I'd like Shovel Knight to be in it.
That would slap, to be fair. I
don't think it'd happen.
He's already an assist trophy.
So
that's like...
I hate that rule. I hate it. That's why Waluigi can't be in it.
Now, if I wanted someone sick, like just proper out there, I'd say like Kratos. It'd be sick.
I think that's one of the least likely things to happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, though. Yeah. I wasn't doing a likely guess.
Oh right, we're going off what we really want.
Yeah, just an outrageous one.
Waluigi.
No, an actual outrageous one.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I had to pick something like that, then a Big Daddy. A Big Daddy.
Oh, that would be sick. That'd be really cool.
But I think he's already been in a fighting game like that. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Yeah,
which was sick, by the way. I love that game.
I don't like that game.
I loved it. I fucking loved it.
It's not a very balanced game at all. It's it's very messy.
But it's fun to play. As a party game, like everyone's playing on the same couch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You
don't play it for seriousness. Right, go on, Alex. An outrageous, I guess. That isn't II. That was already outrageous enough, but
well, it's not really outrageous. It's just another rare character. Probably Conker. I reckon that would be a good one.
I think that. Honestly, I could see that happen. I don't think that'd be that ridiculous to see. Honestly, I feel like I could envision Conker and Smash.
It's just the fact they haven't been in anything in a long time.
Yeah, not that. Yeah, I've been having a Banjo, and he still came back.
Well, yeah, exactly. And Banjo on the Switch again.
Yeah.
Madness.
Oh yeah, the final news. Yeah, Banjo's on the Switch.
Yeah.
Does that mean new Banjo confirmed? Question mark.
Probably not.
There's not been anything since Nuts and Bolts, right? There's not been anything.
No, because Microsoft literally are keeping the IP hostage because they don't want Nintendo to have it.
Right. So we're going to discuss one last thing. We're going to move on. We're going to discuss one last thing. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Are we anyone hyped for this at all?
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be really easy, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Kirby games; they're too easy.
It looks like it's taken a bit of a leaf from Odyssey's book in the way that the open worlds are designed and things. I don't know if it's going to play like Odyssey. If you think about it, Odyssey, the Mario in Odyssey and Kirby are very similar because they both use the abilities of enemies. So it could,
true.
Yeah, so it could be like that kind of exploration.
In the trailer, did we see once Kirby absorbing anyone? I don't know if we did.
We saw him with the sword. We saw him with the sword. So
right, okay. I was
and Needle as well because I made the joke about Katamari.
Yes, you did exactly. Yeah, so I think it looks really good. It looks very Last of Us though. It's like a
very weird.
It is. Because everyone seems to think that it was Splatoon 3 at the start.
Yeah,
I'm still confident it's Splatoon 3. Honestly, I don't think that it isn't.
Yeah, it's just Kirby just pops into some post-apocalyptic wasteland. It's strange. It's really strange. But I'm looking forward. So I'm definitely gonna get it because it's Nintendo and obviously
I definitely am interested. I think I'm gonna pick it up. One, to satisfy my Mario 3D platformer itch, because they're clearly not going to give us a Mario game anytime soon. So it'll be nice to have something. But also, this is the first Kirby game that's as Alex said, it is going to be proper easy, and that's what's put me off every other Kirby game. But the 3D open world aspect to it and the platforming aspect is definitely going to add a lot to it for me. Even if it is on the easier side, because I just can't vibe with the 2D Kirby stuff. It's literally made for 3-year-olds. I can't enjoy it. There's nothing about that game that I can enjoy.
I can't say I've played all of them, but I've played a handful of them, and I'm playing Planet Robobot now.
Planet Robobot, yeah.
And I think that's probably the best one that I've played.
I told you.
Yeah, it's really good. Even Star Allies that came out on the Switch, that was shite compared to Planet Robot.
I begged Alex and Niall not to buy that game, and then Niall went out of his way to go to a game shop because it didn't come from Amazon that day and buy it. And then 2 weeks later, he didn't even finish it. And I was like, "Did you like it?" And he was like, "No."
No, it's crap. Star Allies was rubbish. It really was. But yeah, Planet Robot is great. I like the Canvas Curse games. They were pretty fun as well. But
yeah, I played them as well.
Yeah, other than that, I'm just hoping this leads more into the robot kind of scale of things rather than.
I mean, if they can do a renaissance of Kirby, that'd be cool. Because obviously they make Kirby games, but I feel like he isn't popular as he isn't like in the mainstream like he used to be back in like the SNES, like N64. I feel like they could bring him back with us if the game is good enough and make him like a mainstay. And people are like actually get super hyped for Kirby, but it really depends.
What's fact this is the second game on the Switch already. Like that just shows that like Sakurai really wants Kirby.
I mean, do you think Sakurai's ever going to try and revive Kid Icarus, or do you think he's given up on
No.
that game?
Kid Icarus had 2 games, one in the 80s and one in 2010 on the 3DS.
He seems to love that series of so much, but he just can't.
He tried, but that game ruined my wrist. It really did. Kid Icarus Uprising.
I never even played it.
I've still got a pack of unopened cards. Like you got like cards with the game. I've still got a pack of unopened cards upstairs somewhere. Never gonna open them.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel bad because that seems to be like his baby, but no one likes it. So.
No. But anyway, I think we should call it there. We've got good amount of time here. I did have another topic, but I'll save that until next time. So we're going to be doing another news and discussion kind of podcast that'll be on or before the 15th of October, and then our video game book club game next month will be Metroid Dread. So what date's that coming out? Is it the 6th?
The 5th or the 6th?
8th.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm wrong.
Both wrong. That'll be going live on Halloween, so look forward to that. Hopefully, it is quite. I'm hoping it's a spooky game, to be honest with you. Otherwise, why did we pick it for this month?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So if you enjoy the podcast, just like, subscribe, whatever you do on whatever platform you're listening to. We're also now on TikTok at Crab Studios. We put highlights from the podcast as well as like whatever else we're doing. Like for example, we're watching Nintendo Direct Live. We've got highlights from that on there. And also feel free to follow our Discord. The link to that will be in the description. Yeah, so that's it for this episode of Play Talk Repeat. Bye.
Farewell.
Bye.